The Archon of Natlan. A force to be reckoned with. The secret of the ley lines is no secret to me. Long have they been destined for ruin. And since the oath made 5 centuries ago remains unfulfilled, what use is the Gnosis in your hands?
I don't know what you mean. But it sounds like this is about more than the Tsaritsa.
In times of crisis, someone must pick up the mantle of salvation. Your plan has reached an impasse, and now it falls to me to create new rules for Natlan. But before the dawn of a new age, the old must be destroyed.
I assume that's the end of your speech? Good. People like us. Let our blades do the talking! Masters of the Night Wind. Send word. The captain and his followers must be apprehended.
Victory and defeat are rules, not outcomes. I have never taken advantage of an opponent in a time of weakness, and I don't intend to start now. As for you, I must confess, I did not expect that little trick of yours to save the day.
No matter how dense the fog, as long as the sun remains, we cannot turn day into night. You don't have much time.
I'm beginning to see just how useful you may turn out to be. You heard something from here, didn't you?
Be careful with this traveler. His soul is temporarily
It was I who tasked Auroron with leaving the traces to lead you here, and I who used the Master's ritual to bring your soul to the Night Kingdom. I've heard much about you from the past encounters you've had with my colleagues. Given the present situation in Natlan, I would like to sincerely request a formal meeting with you, in person. I will use the opportunity to explain my goals and motivations to you, as well as why I mistrust Malwika, the Pyro Archon. I believe there is little reason for you to blindly follow her plan. If you would like to hear our intel, then find us to the east of the stadium. But remember, not a word of this to anyone. I would like to avoid any further conflict.
You will see me again once you return to reality. No matter what I say, please, help me keep this...
What was that?
Good evening. Night...
It's you.
I'm terribly sorry.
And what's with you, pal?
You're right. Granny tells me that too. Huh. Come to think of it, you remind me of...
Oh, so you're gonna call...
Well, I could. It's all clear. Over to you.
Excellent. The fact that you showed up proves that I was right about your character. Yet, there's been a lot of talk about you. Child told me that you're passionate about the unknown and willing to take risks. Rather than facing you as an enemy, I would much prefer to bring you to my side. If we allow the current state of things to continue, we will inevitably clash, and that's a scenario that I'd very much like to avoid. I've long heard of your exploits across the nations. Though you have crossed swords with my colleagues many times, I know that you are by no means an unreasonable person. And once you've learned the truth that the Pyro Archon Malwika would never willingly share with you, you may just find it in your heart to consider my proposal.
I assume you've already been informed of the Pyro Archon's plan. In order to roast...
Wait, how did you know that? No.
I've long kept a close eye on her plan. To be frank, it's an exceedingly risky plan. Will the heroes really appear? And even if they come to her, will their power be enough to drive the Abyss back? If any part of the plan goes awry, all of Natlan, even all of Tevat, will pay for her mistakes. Now, you may have been led to believe that this is the only plan available to her. But what if I told you she's had another emergency plan all along, the details of which she has chosen to keep hidden from you?
An emergency plan?
Yes. A way to keep Natlan intact, even if her original plan fails. But given the painful cost of its execution, she has chosen to keep it as a mere backup plan. Whether this stems from hesitation, fear, or even naivete, I cannot say. But Natlan cannot afford to wait until she comes to her senses. My fear is that given the enormity of the decision, she will be reluctant to confront the dire reality we face until it is too late. There will be no time left to execute the backup plan, and all of Natlan will be lost to the Abyss. We have to make the decision for her, here and now.
Yeah, do you have any evidence for all that? Besides, wasn't it you who
I knew you'd be clever enough to see. That's right. I did not seek the Gnosis for the Tsaritsa. Since I was defeated in battle, I must put to rest my thoughts about the Gnosis. But even so, my desire to save Natlan remains unchanged. And now, I have found a new way to solve the crisis. We can implement it immediately if we reach an agreement.
Someone's here.
Huh? The captain disappeared!
Something is rapidly approaching.
You're from the Masters of the Night Wind, are you not? Why do you live here alone?
I enjoy living by myself. I guess you're from the Fatui. The one everyone's calling a big deal.
Not an inaccurate description. I'm looking for someone who may be known to you. Citlali is her name.
Granny? What? I've heard the name.
There's no point to further questioning if you insist on hiding things from me. I shall seek answers elsewhere.
Oh, he could tell I was lying, and now he's leaving? Hey! At least tell me why you're looking for Citlali.
It's none of your concern. I have my own means of tracking her down.
I've just been studying the ley lines and asking for leads on Granny.
The situation has seen no true improvement. The Pyro Archon did not fulfill her promise.
My lord!
Ignore him. He is no threat.
He knows I'm following him. He's strong, I can tell. But there's something...
What is it?
My lord,
A ley line disturbance. Certain presences have been forced to wander outside their rightful realm.
That was a spell from the Masters of the Night Wind. How did he do that so easily? Soulfaring is supposed to be extremely difficult. This could be related to why he's searching for Granny.
I feel much better. Thank you, my lord.
Think nothing of it. Stay vigilant, and continue to gather information. The Abyss could attack at any moment. If you notice any irregularities, assume drill formation and be prepared to fight. However, there is no reason to over-engage. Information is our first priority.
Yes, sir.
Why are the Fatui fighting against the Abyss? I've been following him this whole time and still they ignore me? It seems like his subordinates referred to him as... And now he's headed to the stadium. That's unusual.
You two, with me. Everyone else, wait here as instructed. Send word to the other teams to retreat immediately if this fails.
Yes, sir.
He's going inside? But the Pyro Archon is in there. What does he want with her?
Forgive me, my lord. Allow me to check.
The time for idle observation is over. It now falls on me to act. This nation is out of time.
Yes, sir.
He just walked straight into the stadium. What is he gonna do? They're both incredibly strong. How long will they have to fight until someone comes out on top? Wait, this feeling. Just like the other day near the ley lines. It's faint, like a soul. Is that why he's looking for Granny? If he dies here, then all clues will be lost.
As for you, I must confess, I did not expect that little trick of yours to save the day.
No matter how dense the fog, as long as the sun remains, we cannot turn day into night. She could have dispelled it. She simply... You don't have much time. And you're injured on top of that. What do you plan to do next?
I'm beginning to see just how useful you may turn out to be. You heard something from here, didn't you?
No need to force yourself. I've never seen anyone...
I didn't expect you to intervene at such a critical moment.
You know I've been following you. Why didn't you stop?
When walking in the forest, it is only natural to encounter wild beasts. However, not every beast has the courage to come out and bite.
And yet, one of those...
Then speak. What do you want?
I didn't save you because I wanted something. My soul is more perceptive than others. I can sense that the ley line, the questions you asked her just now, well, I've had very similar doubts. So, I've...
So, you can tell the truth. That was quite a reckless decision to make. I'm not sure you realize that.
There's no turning back for me now. What I did back there is going to get me in a lot of trouble. You attacked the Pyro Archon in broad daylight, and I used my spell to save you. So, we're in the same...
Seem to care little for my thoughts on the matter.
It's too late for that. Start from the beginning. Why are you looking for...
Explain your relation to her first. I know you two are acquainted. It was obvious the moment I mentioned her name.
Citlali is my elder and my teacher. She taught me...
If you truly wish to protect her, you should have let me perish at the Pyro Archon's hand. Yet, you chose otherwise. Do I really need to tell you what that means?
I want to do something to change Natlan for the better. Something I can accomplish with my own two hands. You're stranger than anyone I've ever met. But maybe, just maybe...
Strange? Citlali is said to be the legendary Granny Eastly, someone capable of communicating with the Wyub. And the Wyub are the key to information on the Night Kingdom.
Why do you need knowledge on the Night Kingdom?
That is not something you need to know.
Don't forget.
Do you not believe the Fatui capable of betraying a debt?
People can lie, but souls cannot.
You may not live among your tribe, but you certainly know their tricks. I apologize for my rash judgment. You are more capable than I imagined. Let's go. We'll see if you have what it takes to join my plan. Interesting approach.
Worth trying, I think.
Rather than weaving a net to protect the ley lines, this method would address the root problem. By reconstructing the ley lines themselves.
Here they are!
Oh, the captain's here too.
Oh, they're here.
I thought the Pyro Archon would choose a frontal assault.
It doesn't matter. They're too late anyway.
Stop!
It's too late.
We need to turn it off!
I won't let you do this!
The sound of lament?
What was that sound? It was.
Now's our chance to turn off the device. Oh, Auroran? His movements have gotten a lot faster. Was Auroran always this good in battle?
This ends now!
Huh?
Something's wrong.
You are not Auroran. Who are you?
What?
Commander.
You...
So, you still recognize me, Commander? You see? You indulge your sense of honor for just a moment, and now you've lost your chance. Even now, you're still the same as ever.
His voice is completely different. Is someone inhabiting?
Stop worrying about other people's survival, about their losses and sacrifices. You just need to win. That must be why I've returned. Please finish what you set out.
I didn't expect to see you here, but I have to disagree. Abandoning one's comrades is not the way of a warrior.
Why do you care about a doomed man? After all, his soul has been incomplete from the start.
His eyes are open! He's alive!
What?
Don't try to talk. Focus on holding yourself together.
I can't.
Maybe he thinks of Auroran as a comrade. He...
I'm fine now.
Damage to the soul is a tricky thing. The pain almost consumed you for a moment, but you met.
The worst.
I'm sorry for causing so much trouble.
We can talk about that.
Our plan. I'm sorry. We were so close.
You saved my life, and now the debt is repaid.
Auroran, I never thought you actually wanted to sacrifice yourself in that ceremony. But you never gave up. Have you come to a conclusion on what it is that you truly want?
I just want an answer. No one is born a hero, and no one should be treated like one from birth. I had a chance to do something important back then, but...
The answer you seek.
You are the inheritor of my name. The hero from the master. Fascinating. You're not the person that the others thought you were. And yet, you're also not the kind of person that you thought you were, like you. I never thought I had what it took to be a hero. I was too cunning, too self-absorbed. But in the end, I sacrificed my life for this nation. Now, remember your name. Even if others...
My ancient name.
It means devotion. You will give your all. Not for that answer, you will offer all of your strength. Having foretold his own death, let us raise our cup, for at last, his wish is now fulfilled.
It's nice to see you again, Sanhaj. With your recognition, we now...
I am happy to see your plan advance one step further.
What?
Just as I thought. The Lord...
Lord of the Night? As in the one who rules over...
I preside over a realm of souls. When you activated the device, most of you are unaffected because your souls are in... And yet, his soul remains in one piece. He managed to overcome this obstacle through sheer strength of...
So, was that what caused all his strange...
No. An additional soul was affected. It tried to take refuge in the missing part of your friend's soul. But, however, this soul does not have...
Activating the source mechanism was supposed to reconstruct the ley lines. Why did it awaken you instead?
Because I was the one who originally constructed...
The ancient battle between the Descender and the dragons destroyed the corner of the world. To aid the people of Natlan, the Lord of the Night used the fragments of the old ley lines to reconstruct a similar network. That's the first Pyro Archon. Xbalanque strengthened that realm and established the rules that aid our fight.
Oh, right! You said...
The ancient dragons tried to use this device to strike. Back then, this method was rather ineffective. And now, the structure of the ley lines has also... It was an incredibly crude and painful method, but I managed to absorb some of that power. Now, such as rebuilding the ley line...
But what?
The people of Natlan worship me. But adventurers like you are probably more...
No wonder there are Seelies around here.
Few angels remain in Natlan, so the same is true of Seelies. Now, I have witnessed Moika, inheritor of Xbalanque's. Despite all the obstacles and misunderstandings, I have awoken. And the efforts of this harbinger and the young hero have imbued me with power. Say the word, and I will once again work to fulfill my mandate. Just as you need only nod your head.
I will not. After reconstructing new ley lines, you will cease to exist. The rules of Natlan are founded in the Night Kingdom. If you disappear, not to mention, all the memories and legends recorded within the old ley lines will disappear, just like the consequences of using...
Humanity's survival is worth any price. Once the Abyss runs rampant, all that remains will be a land of corpses and ruin.
And when the new ley lines are invaded again by the Abyss? What then? How are future generations supposed to survive? A land without the Lord of the Night.
You presume too much. If you cannot ensure survival in the present, you have no right to think about the future. What will it take for you to realize that? How many hundreds or thousands will have to die?
The situation hasn't gotten that...
Why? Because I am a survivor of Conria. I've witnessed the devastation and terror of the Abyss with my own eyes.
Conria?
That's right. My family, my comrades, my homeland, were all lost to the Abyss. It is an unforgettable pain. One that no amount of time could ever dull. Not even 500 years. You've experienced something similar, Mawika. You should know exactly what I mean.
You're right. The pain...
If I could go back,
I would reject all false hope. I would do whatever it took to ensure their survival. You have that chance before you now. Why do you refuse to take it?
Because we don't have the right. We love this world because it contains everything we hold dear. Everything that has happened here has moved us, shaped us, and turned us into who we are today. Giving up our memories and history would mean rewriting everything. The people of this world would then become fundamentally...
Even so, given enough time, a new civilization would inevitably flourish. If you believe in humanity, you should trust in their ability to create a new future.
Or history could repeat itself. The Abyss could invade once more, and it would all be for nothing.
Can I say something? I once carried the hopes of many people, and I was also desperate to save our nation. In the captain's plan, I saw a chance to ensure our survival. But as I was on the brink of death, my wish for life and purpose was rekindled. I've been very fortunate to be well cared for by all the people in my life. I refuse to forget that. My feelings were so strong. No matter what path lies before us, we still have a destination.
That's right. Natlan's heroes gave their lives so we could have this chance against the Abyss. Their sacrifices are our blessings. Not only are their deeds and spirits exceptionally meaningful, they may also well be our path to victory.
Yeah, we're just one.
The power from the device will allow me to remain awake for even if you fail. You need only sense. Humanity is truly remarkable. Even the gods in the heaven.
You must have a profound connection to... But what are you really trying...
Pretty sure he wants to hear what you have to say, Traveler.
Fine. I suppose we can wait. Now that Auroron has inherited the memories of his forebearer, there's only one hero left. Your plan does have the potential to generate the best outcome. In the meantime, you shall have the aid of all the Fatui under my command.
Thank you. Having such a powerful harbinger on my side is a big advantage. I know we may never completely see eye to eye on what it means to protect life, but for now, I'm willing to...
All right, we should let everyone know.
Good idea. We need to explain the situation. Oh, guess we'll...
It's time to put our differences behind us and look to the future. As for Auroron, his actions may have been out of...
A magnanimous decision.
We're back! Whoa. Seeing the two of you chatting like this, Paimon almost feels like she's dreaming.
This may be an unexpected... Now that we're all here, I have...
We weren't getting any closer to obtaining the Gnosis, so I had my men scour Natlan for a different option. Auroron helped as well. We tracked down 3 scholars, Aberawa, Bosomtwe, and Kushtal, and combined the results of their research to locate this ancient device.
I've never heard... Seems like my own investigation failed to locate some critical personnel. I'm just not sure how I missed them.
Strange. Perhaps they simply live in seclusion. In any case, their results speak for themselves.
That's true. Now we have another option at our disposal. Compared to using the Gnosis, our current plan will buy us some time. And if all else fails, we still have this...
But that means making everyone forget their... Oh, actually, speaking of the notes...
That story begins with the Cataclysm 500 years ago. I failed to save Conria from the rampage of the Abyss. When the situation became unsalvageable, I fled to Natlan with the remainder of my platoon, only to find that Natlan had fallen victim to the same tragedy. I defended this land for quite some time, and, in the process, met the chief of the Masters of the Nightwind, Aizu. I'm sure many people viewed Conria as the cause of the tragedy, but Aizu was kind to me all the same, and even helped me in my time of need. From that moment, I made it my mission to aid Natlan. In battle, a warrior fights to win. Even though my homeland was lost, I was already committed to this fight. Together, Aizu and I fought many battles and overcame countless hardships. However, he was unable to escape his fate, and, in his final moments, told me the secret of the Gnosis.
So it was him. He recommended using the Gnosis on several occasions. You knew him, and you fought for Natlan all those years ago. Why don't I recognize you? It must be the mask.
Even without the mask, my past appearance is long gone. Even with the curse of immortality, the flesh still rots.
Wait, do you know someone named Dainsleif? That problem doesn't seem quite so extreme for him.
You've met him already?
Yeah, a bunch of times.
During the age of Conria, all I knew was his name. The last time I saw him in person, he was traveling with the princess. He carries a degree of pain and hatred that far surpasses my own. Yes, you're the brother of the princess. Given the role I held in Conria, I would prefer not to harm you. Although, this is likely a self-imposed burden. If the princess saw me now, I doubt she would even recognize me. As for your question, I don't know how Dane managed to slow the deterioration of his body. My appearance is much changed, and that's not the only thing. Even my physical strength is a shadow of what it once was.
I would have never known. During our battle, it felt like I was fighting against the pinnacle of human strength.
And I still lost. I deserve no praise for that outcome. Still, it's a shame we never faced off 500 years ago. You could have seen what I was truly capable of.
I agree. Had we fought then, I'd also have been more motivated to go all out.
So,
He carries a degree.
stadium, and you're saying...
I'd say we're evenly matched. If we face off again, victory will...
I imagine you held back since there were spectators around that could have gotten hurt. But capitalizing on that situation would have only led to a hollow victory. It would have been no different than taking hostages. My goal was the Gnosis, and I failed to obtain it. That means I lost, plain and simple. Her Majesty the Tsaritsa allows every Harbinger the freedom to pursue the meaning of their existence. When the time comes, that freedom can take precedence over her orders. That's why our methods can be so radically different, despite sharing the same goal and the same sovereign. I needed the Gnosis because I came here to save Natlan. That was my prime—
My decision regarding the Gnosis will not change.
Right! What happens when...
We will unleash a great power that can be used to thwart the Abyss. But only once. Renova is a god whose existence predates any Archon.
Wait, is...
Yes. Renova, like I said before, when a human ascends to the divine throne, their inner flame will... The same principle applies to the ruler of Death's power. With one notable distinction. The amount of power inherited will not change, in other words. It's a kind of... But if you survive the trial, you will gain unprecedented strength, and the ability to harness powers more formidable than...
That still sounds really...
We cannot walk this... Mualani charged into the Night Kingdom despite the abyssal contamination. In the face of their bravery, I must respond in kind. That is my duty.
Spoken like a true leader.
All right, that's enough for one day. You should head back and get some rest. The Abyss will likely sense the change in Auroron. It's possible the frequency of the attacks will increase. There are many challenges to come, so we need to be prepared.
Thanks.
The situation is grave. Hold this position. Keep the people safe.
Chaos and emptiness. So that's the Abyss.
And it knows that now is its best chance.
But the sacred flame!
Archon's on the case.
It is a victory forged. We emerge victorious from another...
Woo! All right!
I must caution that this war is not yet over. We have not destroyed our enemy, but the Abyss underestimated Natlan's forces, and after making some preparations, I will...
Oh, man.
Wait, Archon, are you saying...
Yes. The abyssal energy there, I'm sure you're all still fired up, and you must be eager to take...
It's kind of a shame that we can't...
Please, look at the bigger picture. Thanks...
I guess if our lives are no longer at risk, things can basically...
That's good enough for me.
When the time comes, I will gather now. Once the last dregs of an ancient name could never...
If I may, let's,
Lastly, there is one more person I must thank for his
Speaking in a personal capacity, I should like to offer my sincere congratulations on your victory.
Well, everyone, please enjoy the victory feast. I hope...
The Outlander with deep ties to this land returns. And this time, he is alone.
The power that the Pyro Archon used to strike back at the Abyss came from the Ruler of Death. From what I know of her rules, she will demand death in return.
How do you know of this? I see. So, the ruler of death sent you on your long journey.
Natlan still has a final battle to fight, and I too have a final foe to face. For the sake of those countless lost souls, and a hope for Natlan's future, I need your help. Abyssal corrosion syndrome. 500 years later, and it's resurfaced again.
Huh? That voice! It's...
Direct contact with high concentrations of abyssal power causes irreversible mental trauma in most people. The exact presentation will vary according to trauma level. Some will suffer from superficial hallucinations and maintain the capacity to perceive the outside world. In such cases, verbal and physical interaction can be used to break through the hallucination. However, there are also those who are so far gone, entrenched in hallucinations so deep, that medical intervention is the only option. That's why we developed the Drought of Lucidity.
The draft of lucidity?
It's a kind of medicine that can dispel the psychological impact of the Abyss. The treatment comes with severe side effects, including chronic migraines for the rest of the patient's life, so it's reserved for the worst cases. This man is a devoted warrior, one not easily swayed from battle. That is precisely why it's so difficult to pull him out of this hallucination. If you trust me to be true to my word, give him this.
Wretched monsters! Said it, give me your worst. It's either your end or mine! Hurry! He's away!
Please, give him the draft. My son thinks he's alone in this world. In his mind, all his family and comrades are gone, and only
monsters! What's... my head hurts. I just had the strangest dream.
It's all right, my boy. Let's go home. You need a good night's sleep. But first, I want to thank you for saving my son. May I ask your name?
Just Capitano is fine.
I owe you more than words can say, Mr. Time to go, son. Can you stand?
Thank goodness everything turned out all right.
Think nothing of it. I agreed to offer you my aid, so this is merely a part of that duty. Besides, I care deeply about this land.
Right! When we were with Moika, you told us you and your soldier...
That's right. My desire to protect this nation remains unchanged. When my platoon arrived in Natland 500 years ago, like you, we were true outlanders. But as time passed, I encountered the people of this land and witnessed their desperate struggle against the Abyss. Though many of the warriors were rash and inexperienced, they were steadfast and fearless in battle, willing to do anything to protect their fellow citizens, oftentimes with complete disregard for their own survival. Just as I fought for the glory of Conria, they fought for the survival of their nation. We happened to share a common enemy, so I decided to offer my aid. We fought side by side to the very end. I traveled to many places after that, but I never forgot this land. Even now, my work in Natland remains unfinished. They remember who I used to be. The Sentinel Knight, who fought with the Masters of the Nightwind. Still, I prefer to leave all that in the past. That name carries with it the glory of my homeland and the honor of Natlan. Yet, I failed to bring my soldiers home. And I failed to help Natlan defeat the Abyss.
But that's not your fault.
You need not comfort me. I am no longer who I once was. Let the events of the past continue to collect dust in the annals of history. I will continue to help Natlan in my own way.
Like, with the draft of Lucy, who knew you could make medicine? Were you a doctor before?
The drought was Guthred's invention. He was a respected military doctor, as well as my trusted second-in-command. We faced a similar situation to what you witnessed today. The endless battles against the Abyss triggered delusions among the soldiers, to the point where some attempted to kill each other. In order to develop a treatment as fast as possible, Guthred used himself as a test subject. He passed away shortly after the drought was complete. That's who he was. Unrelenting in his pursuits. No matter the cost, no matter the sacrifice. In the end, he even gave himself up for a chance at success. I'm sure he would be pleased his creation aids people even now. The Abyss has wrought enough suffering on this land. I sincerely hope this war will end soon.
Stop worrying about other people's survival, about their... Please finish what you set out.
You're more perceptive than I imagined. However, some things are better kept secret for now. We may be working together, but our goals are not entirely aligned.
What's with the secrets all of a sudden? I'm starting to think we should be more
I do not mean to jeopardize the trust between us. I simply prefer to keep this to myself, because it's a personal matter. All I can tell you is this. Natlan may have survived the worst of the crisis, but the souls of this land are still not at peace. And that is why my work is not yet done.
Well, if it's personal, then...
If you have other questions, I'm willing to answer them.
Wait, Paimon wants to know how you eat with the men.
Natlan must pay the price for Mawika's use of the rule. Even now that the war...
In the garden cultivated by the gods, flowers and weeds grow side by side. When the weeds compete for nutrients in the soil, the gardener intervenes to inhibit their growth. I'm not one to pass judgment based on my own standard of right and wrong. But it is an undeniable fact that she is responsible for my suffering, as well as that of my people. If that explanation is too difficult to understand, allow me to show you exactly what I mean. The ruler of death can freely define the form of death, or grant immortality to anyone she desires. Her power is a rule in and of itself. Faced with such an overwhelming level of power, it can feel hopeless to resist. But I am of the belief that, in this world, no destiny is unchangeable, no death inevitable, and no rule unbreakable. So, before the final moment truly arrives, we must fight harder than ever.
Oh, did something happen?
This is a critical time for you, Traveler. It's best not to delay, so let us end our conversation for now. Best of luck to you all. Goodbye.